Hello everyone, welcome, one and all, to another installment of the legendary series. The series that as the worldwide phenomenon that has taken the world by storm. I'm just kidding. It's SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Oh, I love putting myself over. Yes, welcome once again to another episode of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick 2 random SoulsBorne bosses. And then there will be a dance competition, and whoever does the better routine will be the winner. I think that's pretty self-explanatory and easy to understand. Alright, now we are going to determine who would win between the 2, and contestant number 1 is Seath the Scaleless. We have had Seath before, but I don't know if we have had him since I changed to the new format here with the bios and everything. So Seath is an interesting boss. There's really not a whole lot to say about him. He's kind of, I guess he's kind of a gimmick boss in a way, or maybe not, but he's certainly formidable, I guess. He's a problem. He's a problem. I think we can fairly say that he is a problem. So, there you go. Alright, we're going to take this wheel for another spin. We are going to determine the opponent for Seath the Scaleless, who betrayed his own kind. That's kind of an interesting story. And I guess if I haven't done anything on Seath since the new format, I guess I have to do a bio on him, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. Alright, in one corner we have Seath the Scaleless, and in the other corner we have the Elden Beast. Wow, he's been showing up a lot, or it has been showing up a lot lately. At least a couple times in the past 10 episodes or so. You know, everyone knows the deal with the Elden Beast. I don't really have to, you know, go that much deeper into it. Everyone knows the deal, and I have an opinion on who would win, but by contract, I must give you biographies of each one. So, let us go to Seath the Scaleless. Seath the Scaleless is a descendant of the primordial dragons that inhabited the world before the first flame came into being. However, he does not possess the rock scales that make his peers immortal, for whatever reason. Instead, his deformed body is infused with the power of sunlight, or moonlight, I'm sorry. Infused with the power of moonlight, which he managed to study and make weapons out of and such. In the meantime, the 4 lords that are in possession of the immense Lord Souls have built their civilizations on the ground, underground, and then one day they just decide to pop out of the ground and be like, oh, this world is ours now, which is dick move, I think. So the 4 lords wage war against the dragons. Seath decides to betray his kind and help Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, win the war. And Gwyn's victory was largely due to Seath's contributions. Seath was amply awarded for helping Gwyn win the war. He became a sworn friend to the Lord of Sunlight. He was also gifted one of Gwyn's daughters in marriage, which that's not cool. And I'm pretty sure if I were Gwyn's daughter, I think I might have just offed myself instead of being offered to a dragon that could do whatever he wanted with me. That's just my opinion. What a dick Gwyn is, by the way. Seath was also awarded a piece of Gwyn's soul, which Gwyn just seems to willy-nilly hand out to everybody. And he was also awarded with the Royal Archives, which became Seath's home. Just all the knowledge of the gods in one place so that Seath could research. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to make a correction. It was one of the daughters of Gwyn's mother that he awarded to Seath. So it was actually his sister, I guess, but that really doesn't change my outlook on it. Seath, however, had no interest in politics or anything like that, and to that I say word, you know, he's my spirit animal. But he just really consumed himself with his research. Was determined to figure out why he couldn't be immortal like his brethren. His research then turns to the power of souls and how he can use them. He is credited with being the founder of sorcery. And then he becomes very obsessed with crystals. He starts creating crystal creatures and crystal weapons and crystal people and all this stuff, and that just became the object of his research. All of his research culminated in the creation of the Moonlight Greatsword, which he used to catalyze the power of moonlight. And then he finally found a cure for his mortality. He achieved immortality through the primordial crystals. So Seath did accomplish what he sought out to do. So I guess after all that time and effort, he should be commended for that. But then, as is the case with people who are immortal, I say that like it's a real thing. Obviously, I'm talking about in stories and such where immortality is a thing. But as with all these people, what happens? Seath gets lonely and then starts losing his sanity, because that's what happens when you are immortal. Eventually, he begins to hate everything. His experiments become twisted. Eventually, Seath creates Priscilla, who is a crossbreed of human and dragon, I guess. Priscilla was feared by the other gods because it was outside the natural order of things, and they didn't understand her, which is the origin of most fear in the world. And eventually, Gwyn links the first flame, the gods leave out Orlando, Seath stays in the Royal Archives, and is just there doing whatever it is that Seath does. You meet him, he beats you, then you go back and you beat him again, so, or, you know, whatever. So, Seath is an interesting character, definitely, in the world of Dark Souls, and judging by his lore page here on Fandom, he did a lot of stuff. I mean, what I told you didn't even cover, like, the half of it. So, Seath has had a very big part to play in the world of Dark Souls, and he is certainly a worthy addition to SoulsBorne Battles to the Death. What more can even be said about the Elden Beast? We've talked about it at great length before. Long ago, the Greater Will sent the Golden Star containing a beast to the lands between, and it later became the Elden Ring. A beast became a ring. It was a vassal beast of the Greater Will. Later, America would become the Numen Empyrean Queen, and she would create the Golden Order to rule over the lands between. Then one day, America wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and decides to smash the Elden Ring, which triggered the Shattering Wars, or whatever they're called. And then when you, the player, finally make your way inside the Erd Tree, you have to fight Radagon. And when you beat Radagon, the Elden Beast emerges, turns Radagon's body into a sword, and then you battle it out. And eventually you win, and then you can usher in an age of your choosing. And in the latest poll, I think 95% of people had chosen the age of Ronnie. So, yeah, that's the way that is. The Elden Beast is, you know, as final bosses go, it's every bit as capable as any final boss I've ever seen in the SoulsBorne games. So, yeah, it's not a fun time. It's not a fun time fighting the Elden Beast. The least of which is because it can, like, fly across the level, and then you have to run 10,000 miles to catch up with it and get one hit so it can fly away again, and yeah. So, yeah. Elden Beast. SoulsBorne Battles to the Death. This is where it belongs, so we welcome him aboard. I really don't know that there's too much debate on this one. Seath as a boss barely even moves, actually, when you fight him. So, then you got the Elden Beast, who can fly all over the place and can hit you from long range with very powerful attacks. I don't think I'm going to get very much argument from you guys. I think the Elden Beast takes this one pretty handily and probably doesn't take very long to do it. I think the Elden Beast is too strong, too powerful, has too much up its sleeve, and Seath is basically rooted to the ground, and no amount of tail swipes or crystals or anything like that is going to change the outcome of this, I don't think. But that is just my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, another chapter of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death comes to a close. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com. If you're interested in the Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My link tree is Bobby's World 2110. My Instagram and Twitter is Bobby's World 2110. The Sekiro No Healing Gourd run is still ongoing, so check that out on the channel. And then you can bring it back here next week for another episode of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. So until then, be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. Stay see you for live, y'all. Bye. What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today, but I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge, it's for you to judge. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the Silver Medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won Silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to robertblanchardbooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.